Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talks with the Lady. I am your host, none other than the Lady, Lashana Lady Brown. It is a pleasure to be back here again to be able to cover yet another story, another interview. All right, so today we have none other than we have an author. We have an author that is coming on here today. I'm talking about I have just been overly excited about what it is that she wants to talk about. I briefly spoke with her. She is a beautiful person with a very beautiful personality. I'm so interested in finding out what goes on with the eclectic mind. Okay. And she's going to share that with us. She also has some presentations that she wants to present to us today, and we're going to find out exactly what it is. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the beautiful Waterfall Adams. Let's welcome her to the stage.
Hi.
All right. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. I love it. I love it. How are you today, beautiful?
Fine, and you?
I am blessed. Thank you for asking. It's been a long day, but I'm here and I'm just overly excited to hear. I'm overly excited about this interview, but I'm more excited because I want to hear about what's in these books. Okay. I do have the link as well, and I'm going to be able to share those after we get off the live today. But we're going to go ahead and get started on, if you would go ahead and allow our audience to know who you are and what it is that you do.
Well, my pen and stage name is Waterfall Adams. I'm a creative professional who self-published two poetry books, the ones you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
They're available on Amazon and
Mm-hmm.
other outlets. If not, I'm trying to get them out there. The books you just saw there, those were the paperback versions. There's
Right.
also ebook versions, and I'm trying to get the audiobook versions together. And I'm working on my third book and researching for like more books that I'm working on.
Right.
The third one's a non-poetic book.
Okay. All right. So tell us something. You live where? Where are you from?
I'm based in Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama. All right. We got Mobile in the house, honey. Come on. Let's give a shout out to Mobile. All right. Yay. All right. So first thing we're going to do, if you can hold up, I believe it was the first book that you had, the eclectic mind of V. Give us a little bit of a scenario. Tell us a little bit more about this book.
Well, it has poetry written by yours truly. It
Mm-hmm.
ranges from topics of the arts, blackness, 21st century issues, and you might find some personification poems in there.
Okay. And then the other one, which is the Free to
For
Be V.
it is about womanhood, race, religion. It has a tribute poem to one of my poetic inspirations. There's
Mm-hmm.
also some quotes. All credit goes to the well-known people.
All right. All right. That is an awesome. I have my memoir. I wrote one book. It's a memoir. It's called Transitioning from Breakdowns to Breakthroughs. I have the memoir was written because I felt like a lot of society had me misinterpreted. I wanted to go ahead and talk about those controversial factors that led me to be who I am today. Very strong, independent, level-minded, might I add. I'm very open to just being myself, and what it is that I want to do, I'm going to go do it. I always strive for excellence. I just love being myself. Okay. And I thought that, a lot of people just kind of had me misunderstood, but I wrote in my book about the challenges that I had faced throughout, the duration of my life. So that might be one. Again, it talks about different stages or different seasons of my life. And I'm not sure, but when you were talking about the womanhood, what was it, the life of V?
The eclectic mind of V,
Not, no, the other one.
free to be V.
Free to be V. I think it's something similar to that, what you were talking about. And again, I'm still waiting to get my copy. So I am definitely looking forward to reading that. But let's go ahead and get started with this interview because I'm very excited. And, I get so excited when I'm talking to people, and I'm especially when we're talking about being yourself. But what inspired you to write these books?
Well, I
Waterfall.
always have wanted to write a book one day, just didn't know about what.
Right.
I just happened to have some spoken word poetry that I've done, and wrote more poetry to kind of like fill out the books.
Mm-hmm.
These books were about a few years in the making, and here we are. And also, being a writer is one of the things I can do with my degree anyway.
Right. Right. I love that about that, especially when you're utilizing all of your gifts and your skills and all of that. And you said it took you a couple of years to write. Is it both of them or just one?
Well, some of them, like I wrote when I was at University of South Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
fall class of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Some I wrote like back then when I was still at South, and some after I graduated from University of South Alabama, where I
Right.
got my degree, a bachelor's in art history, with a minor in dramatic arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have two blogs. I had a hard time trying to find a job, especially when you're like have a form like autism.
Mm-hmm.
It can be rough. In fact, do you know like the rate of like unemployment and or underemployment with autistic adults?
Explain
That's
it. Well, and some may not understand. Could you explain to the audience what autism is, or and how does it affect you in your daily life? Because I know you were talking about employment, and the rate being you're being underemployed as far as being autistic. But can you explain to them how has it affected you? First, if you can explain to them what autism is, you know.
well, it's a developmental disorder,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a spectrum. And also the rate I was trying to mention, it's 85%.
Mm-hmm.
85 over that. And that's higher than black people in the United States of America. Every time when like they speak about unemployment,
Mm-hmm.
uh, usually like black people be in in the United States of America, it'll be a high rate, but the rate with the like autistic people is
Mm-hmm.
higher than that.
Wow. Wow. I never knew too much about. I mean, being an educator, I've always understood how to deliver my instruction to children who were autistic, and I think mostly it's a lot of being patient and trying to understand them on the level that they are on. So I have dealt with individuals who have been autistic. So I know it's different from when you're an adult. It's like
Very different as an adult.
right, it's very very different. So.
I applied for disability twice
Mm-hmm.
and I got turned down
Mm,
in the
okay.
state of Alabama.
In the state of well, you know what? I don't like to look at it as a disability, though. You understand? Have you ever looked at it like that? Your mind just
Well,
it functions a little bit different. You had the ability to
well, there are different forms. Mine's a little more mild. I was hyperactive as a child, but
right,
things kind of calm down as I get older. Maybe like it's the one who has a little more a severe case might qualify. Well, mine's a little more mild. Well, if you go apply for disability, they usually give more money to those whose like case disability case is a little more severe.
right. Has that stopped you from anything like doing anything in your normal life? I mean, you still do what you want to do, go where you want to go. What has changed?
Well, I do have still have trouble with driving though, and
Right.
also what else? Like I said, if I had trouble trying to find a job, it's just like finding a job. It is not like it was in the older generations. I have
Mm-hmm.
a sister who we're both 2 years and 10 days apart.
Mm-hmm.
She's born on November 6th. I'm born of '84. Well, I'm born November 16th of 1986. It wasn't that like what it was when she got her first job.
Right.
It's not the workplace. Not it's not like I mean the workplace. Not like it was when my parents when they were getting their first jobs, like back in like somewhere like the late '60s and the early '70s. It's
Right.
not like it was when my stepmother, my father's wife, was getting her first job, or when my grandparents were looking for jobs. They were born in the '20s. May they rest in peace.
Right.
Not like it was at all. In fact, I took it when I was at South. I took a course about the job campaign that teaches people how to get jobs. And by the time I graduated, is not like what I was taught at all.
Right. So that's kind of what all everyone goes through. I mean, I have an AA, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's degree. When it came down to my master's, I wasn't eligible for like grants or anything like that, so I had to go and take out a loan in order to be able to complete my graduate studies. So really doesn't prepare you though for the workforce. You know, you spend all this money and you get a degree, but you're not really prepared. So I don't like to look at it like that. Like, I don't, not saying it's an excuse, but a lot of us are still struggling with a lot of that, and we don't even have, any type of like autism spectrum or anything like that. It's just that's just life. I don't believe that you have a disability. You're very, very intelligent. I mean, as far as your condition, people may think, okay, that is a disability, but you can do so much more, and you never limit yourself to what it is that you can do. I'm always a firm believer that you just believe in yourself, be who you are, and that is what is going to set the foundation to, where God is really taking you or where you're going at in life. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So you'll hear me say stuff like that a lot. It's only because I do believe in you, and I do believe like you're very intelligent. I speaking with you the
Thank you.
other day, and I was like, oh wow, I could actually sit and have a conversation, a meaningful conversation. So
It
now,
just took me years to even want to talk about my autism at all,
right,
especially when you're black, especially like for the black community, like having a mental illness is usually looked at as a sign of weakness, and also like going to therapy kind of seemed like taboo. It's oh, we didn't go to therapy, we go to church.
right. Yeah, we all have. I honestly, I feel like we all have some type of mental disability, or we face some challenges. I would like, or I should say, we all face some challenges mentally. It's just that we're all in different mindsets. We're on different levels with our challenges. Um, I myself have a mental disability, but I don't consider myself disabled. Does that make sense? So I'm
Yes,
still able to, it doesn't take away from my intellect. It doesn't take away from my ability to get up from day to day and go strive to be better. It didn't take away from like the things that you did, like write a book. I was even the more excited and more adamant about doing what it is that I wanted to do. I just didn't allow things to stop me, and I was just myself. That's again the purpose of this platform is just me being me being who I want to be, expressing myself in the way that I feel, comfortable doing so, not what someone else may feel like I should be doing, but it's what I want to do. So, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We have so many people that, and I'm honored that you say, oh, for a long time I didn't want to talk about my autism, but who is to say that other people aren't dealing with other things that may be even worse than you? And your story could actually help someone else by, okay, despite me having this here go on, I can still be able to go on and still live my life. I don't look at it like that. Does that make sense?
yes, it
So,
does.
yes. Now, we're going to continue with the interview. And again, thank you so much thus far. Are there any specific challenges that you faced while you were writing this book?
Well, while I was writing it,
Hmm.
make sure write make sure I have like enough time to write it. Also, not only just writing like when it came to, like self-publishing it, but depending on like the self-publishing agitator, like certain guidelines, trying to find a picture to put in the back of the book that fit their guidelines. Like for example, with the first book, you see a picture of me on the back, right?
Hmm.
But on the second book, you don't. It's because
Right.
I couldn't find a picture that fit like the guidelines of a certain like width and length.
Right.
Uh, And also, yeah, a lot of guidelines, and some might take certain files, like say PDF or Doc or DocX. Some don't.
Right. And you were able to maneuver through those challenges, though, right? I mean, you got it figured out apparently because the book is,
right?
right. So, see what I'm saying? It's though we're going to have challenges, but you get through them and you learn through them, and then the next time around, you're like, oh, I remember this, so on and so forth. So those are those things that we just have to really be grateful for, because some people again can't even do that, you know. But we are very blessed. How
Mhm.
do you motivate yourself to continue writing about yourself, and how do you motivate yourself to just continue being you despite what anyone else might think or whatever? How do you motivate yourself to continue?
Well, there's prayer and not care what anybody thinks of me.
Right. Okay. Do you do anything else? Do you spend what how do you spend your free time?
Well, I do read, what leisurely.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I do also, well, like with free time. I do like to go out and I do work out from time to time. And
Mm,
also, I do like to watch TV, and I do like to travel. And I forgot to mention, I do read in my free time. I'm also a beta reader, and I review books as well.
oh, okay, that's interesting.
And I'm trying to get into acting and like modeling or whatever. In fact, I've been reading recently got a book from that for dummies, like breaking into acting for dummies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have like a minor in dramatic arts, just trying to keep up with going on like in the industry and the times that I am living in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like so tell with younger generations, like parents and teachers or whoever, like the older generations shouldn't pressure the someone from like the younger generations about getting this certain job or going to this certain college,
Mm-hmm.
because by the time it, that kid, that younger person is old enough to get like a job permit, that job might not be there. That college might not be there. Or somebody trying to pressure to take over the family business, that family business might not be there.
Right. Yeah. You are just awesome. I'm gonna tell you, I would not have thought, what I'm saying, with your mindset and the way that you perceive things, I would have never thought that. But again, we're different. We're all different in our own unique way, sweetheart. Um, you've given me a lot to even think about just sitting here. And as I was telling you the other day when we spoke, and when I got off the meet and greet, I began to think myself like there's some powerful, powerful women out here, and our abilities. I don't think we work enough to our abilities to the maximize our abilities, should I say? But yes, you are definitely now. That brings me to you're definitely strong for that. That brings me to my next question. Are there any specific messages that you would like to um reach the audience with? You want to give them some encouraging words or anything that you want to take away from your book, something that it might be a slogan or something that you want our audience to know.
Well, one of them is give credit where it's due or they sue.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just I need to remember like future works, remember have them copyrighted, especially in books have like a copyright page.
Mhm.
And also it's just that being a self-published author, it's a business and a entrepreneur venture within itself. In
Mhm.
fact, either it was either Tammy Martin or Dr. LaTracy told me to say something about getting the LLC.
Right.
And where I in my state, it costs like $200, but I saw it somewhere in California it costs $70.
Right. This
It
everyone's
probably
different.
depends on the state.
Yeah, it does depend on the state, whatever their rules or regulations are. I know here in Florida, it's about $140 to obtain an LLC. An EIN is free, obviously. So and then some places the EIN is $300. So I guess it
Whoa.
just depends. Um, all right, I had another question. How does this book fit into your overall work? How does it fit? Like, how does it relate to what you have going on? Is it because of your autism, or is it something that you have encountered, just personal experiences with other things outside of autism? How does it fit into your work and like what you do now?
Well, some things of like goes on in my own life, some things that like going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of relevant in the times that I'm living in, and mainly like if you when generations read my book, they get a better understanding of the times that the poet was living in. Some people
Mm-hmm.
might think that poetry is old fashioned, but then again, if it wasn't for poetry, we wouldn't have hip hop in the first place.
Right, right.
Hip hop, rap.
See what I'm saying? That's a great point. Without poetry, there was no hip hop because hip hop originated from poetry, right?
Yes, in 1973 in the Bronx, New York.
Okay. Yes. So that, I mean, it's stuff like that I'm talking about that really makes it a little bit more genuine when we're talking about just being yourself. I mean, it's just I have definitely taken the time to um actually learn a few things myself about our culture, and because I haven't always, I'll be the first to admit, I don't know a lot of things about. I know mostly a lot of things, but a lot of stuff I don't know, and it's not because I don't want to know. It's just that it was never really too much important. I was always a loner, so it's just like, okay, whatever I learned from just being in my house or whatever occurred, with my parents or so on. So that was the culture that I knew. But as far as getting to learn a lot of it, like this poetry stuff that you're talking about, I never got into that. But I do know that hip hop is culturally biased, and it also it has a lot to do. It stems from poetry. I do know that, i.e., Tupac.
Like and also early like Godfather hit like the pioneers of hip hop, like James Brown, like early hip hop, they sampled his music was sampled, and also have you heard of the Last Poets?
The Last Poet.
Poets.
Now, who is that? Now, what?
There's like yeah they like poets and they kind of like early version of hip hop or something, kind of like inspired by it or kind of early. Also, Gil, I think his name was Gil Heron Scott. A poem called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." You ever heard of that one?
The revolution will not be televised. Let me
Yes.
write that down. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, it's also like inspired hip hop as well. Yeah, it was around probably came out during around the Black Power movement.
Mm-hmm. Have you
Yeah, and they
watched?
also wrote the research about that too.
What's it called? Okay, I have the revolution will not be televised.
Correct.
Okay. What's the other one?
This group called the Last Poets.
The Last Poet. Okay. All right. All right. So I got me some more information to look into. Um, so we have our specific messages that you wanted to send out to them as well. I am going to be sharing. If you would like to, please go ahead and share the link to your books so that I can tag them on my page as well. Do you have any other any messages that you would like to send to our audience?
Okay. Do you want me to send the link to my books through the chat?
Do them, post them to the page so people can see them.
Okay, we get it on like the chat. Maybe this hope it show up. Let me go
If you
ahead and get
post,
it again.
if you send it through the chat, then I'll make sure that I post it for you.
Let me see. Here it is. Okay, and also watch out for scams because there are scams that have been around since the beginning of time, and so those we have not been made aware of yet.
Mhm. Okay. All right. I will definitely do. You talking about scams as far as what now?
Like ancient Greece.
Okay. I have to definitely look into that. I'm going to take the link that you just sent me. I am going to take it and I'm going to post it on there for individuals that want to go on and purchase the book. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know what, Waterfall, it's been a pleasure speaking with you and talking about the beautiful being yourself, the eclectic mind. It's been an honor to be able to speak with you and talk to you. I'm always overexcited when people want to come onto my show and they want to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. And again, it was an honor. I hope to have you again and we can get an update on that third book that you are going to have so you know how to contact me. You can email me and or either
Hmm.
you can message me and then we can go from there. All right.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. And I'll go ahead and get that link posted.
All right. Thank you, and have
All
a
right.
good day.
All right. Have a blessed night.
You too.
All right.